Hi, I'm Scott Birmingham. I am an IT applications analyst with the Merced County Office of Education. I maintain and deal with all the servers and all the back-end infrastructure that controls all of your emails, all of your data access, where you store your files, make sure that there's enough storage space for all your files. We have a team here of about 25 people. We all work together. We all have different specialties. I am a part of the server team, so I manage all of the virtual machines, the disk arrays. Your home computer is all self-contained. You have your computer, you have your CPU, you have your hard drive. It's all inside of it. Well, in an IT environment, you don't have that. You have a box that has a CPU and memory in it. And then in another room, in another box, you've got all your hard drives. And all those devices have to communicate with each other. And I'm responsible for making sure all those devices communicate correctly and that everything goes smooth. And if I'm doing my job right, then you don't know that I'm doing my job. The IT field, there's generally two different directions you can go into. There is information technology degrees, and there's also computer science degrees. A computer science degree is something that you're going to want to pursue, something you're going to want to go after if you want to become a developer. Like if you're into writing apps, if you want to write apps for your cell phone or for a computer, then you're going to want to look into a computer science degree. If you want to do what I do and work on the back end, then you're going to want to go for an information technology degree. And those are both, you can get pretty far in both of those careers with a bachelor's degree. Graduate degrees are important if you want to proceed in your career at a really high level. Like if you want to become a director or an IT manager, you're going to want to get a graduate degree. And again, to get to that point, grades, you've probably heard this 1,000 times, grades are what it's all about. Good grades are going to get you into a good graduate school. The better the graduate school, the more money you're going to make, the better job opportunities you're going to have. And the sky's the limit. I actually went to school for architecture. So I went to school for 5 years, got an architecture degree at the University of Utah, and wound up fixing everyone's computers because CAD was just kind of starting out, AutoCAD, and I really liked fixing computers better than architecture. So that's how I got into the computers. So that's a third way of getting into IT. You just kind of get a foot in the door, you work your way up, you learn more and more from your peers, and you can go from there. However, it's not just about coasting through without a degree. If you do go the way without the information technology or the computer science degree, there are still certifications that are very important that you need to get. And certifications, they run the entire gamut. You can get certifications in Cisco, VMware, Microsoft, Oracle, database management. The more certifications you have, the more money you're going to make. The certifications, they're actually much more difficult to obtain than a degree because of the time frame you have to get that certification. A certification, you usually have anywhere from 2 to 3 months to get that certification instead of the 4 to 5 to 6 years of it to get a degree. However, you don't have all of the general ed that you have to deal with as well in college. But I would strongly recommend that you work hard, get good grades, you get the degree in computer science, or you get or in information technology, whichever path you want to take. And on top of that, you're still going to want to get certifications. That's going to show your employer that you are always willing and looking to learn more. The more you learn, the higher you're going to go, the more money you're going to make, and the more respect you're going to have. And college isn't just about learning the skills. When employers look at your college, they don't just say, okay, he went to college, he learned this tool, he got the degree. No, they're also looking at your grades, your extracurricular activities, because all that shows that you have the desire to learn, you have the desire to work with other people, and work with other people well, and it also shows that you have a strong work ethic. And strong work ethic is very important in this field. You're not going to have a 9-to-5 job in IT. You're going to be working a lot on, quite often you're going to be working after hours. When the people that you're supporting is at work and they're using their email, they're accessing their files, you just can't take that away from them during the day and fix something. So you've got to wait until they're all gone, they all go home, and then you got to come in or work on the weekend and take care of the job after hours. The compensation is pretty well. Without a college degree in computer science or information technology, you're going to be entering in the high 30s, low 40s. So I would I want to emphasize, get good grades and get a degree, okay? With a degree, you're going to generally start out around the $65,000 to $70,000 range, and if you have a graduate degree, you can make up to $170,000 a year, depending on the size of the company. Like if you're the IT director of a Fortune 500 company, you could be making 7 figures. One of the reasons why I love my job is because I like the challenge of making things work, figuring out why things don't work. When something in IT breaks, there's not a message that pops up that says, hey, this is broken, do A, B, C, D to fix it. No, it just gives you some random string of characters, and you've got to figure out what that means. Then you've got to figure out the process and the steps that it takes to resolve that issue and bring it back online. Don't be afraid to ask any questions. Like people, you hear this a lot. Only stupid question is the question you don't ask. Google is going to be your best friend. Don't be afraid to use Google. We all use Google because Google is a great resource for IT. 99% of the time, a problem that you come across, someone else has come across it already and has documented the solution on the internet. Learn how to use Google. That's another thing. Typing a question into Google and expecting to get your answer, it's not going to always give you what you want. Learn Google. It's almost like a mathematical formula. There's classes in Google, different qualifiers that you can put into the search, different phrasing, different things you want to put in quotes. Yeah, learn how to use Google the right way. You can't just type in a question and get an answer. Information technology is also a very large and very rapidly growing field. I started in information technology in 1994 when it was just, it wasn't really big back then. We were just starting to use servers for primary file storage and email. That was about it. Well, now you've got information technology everywhere, from the big tech firms all the way to agriculture. Farmers are hiring information technology professionals. So the job market is wide open, and they are always looking for people. The information technology field is very short on qualified people. So my suggestion to you would be to get, again, grades, and just make yourself invaluable to your employer. Do whatever's asked of you. Even if you don't know how to do something, don't come out. You don't want to just come out and say, "Oh, I can't do that. Ask someone else." You need to own that. You need to own that problem. You need to figure out how to come to a solution to that problem, and then you need to implement it. Then once you're done, and once you've implemented it, and once you've come up with a problem, then you can go to your boss and tell them, "Hey, I went into this. I had no idea what this was, but I figured it out. This is how I figured it out," and they're gonna have a lot of respect for you for that. Specializing, you always, you hear about medical field have some specializations, right? You got your orthodontists, you got your spinal surgeons. Information technology is very similar. The more specialized you are, the more successful you're going to be. One of the big ones right now is cybersecurity. If you can get an information technology degree with a cybersecurity emphasis, you're going to pretty much be able to write your own ticket. So look at the specializations in information technology when you're planning out your career. There's there's database specialties. There's disk array specialties. There are VMware specialties. There's Windows Server specialties. There's Linux specialties. There's all sorts of specializations that you can focus on. So don't just look at it as a general field of fixing computers, because that's not what it's all about. It's much more than that. I just want to say thanks for listening to me. I hope I was able to help you out, and it's gonna come. The money's gonna come, the recognition's gonna come, but I just want to emphasize that you're gonna just be patient. Don't expect everything at once. Be patient, it'll come.